What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, if you've been watching me for a while now, you know my personal opinion on why the overall Call of Duty franchise has been on a massive downward decline. Of course, there's things like skill-based matchmaking, and of course, the ego of the developers as well. But down to its core, I really do think that this overall, franchise is being spread way too thin. Back in the day, it was simply just 6v6 campaign, and depending on if the game was developed by Treyarch or Infinity Ward, there would be some type of side mode like Spec Ops or Zombies. That's it. So the focus was extremely easy for the developers to go ahead and produce a Call of Duty game. But nowadays, fast forward, and Call of Duty has so many modes I can't even count. Between 6v6, 10v10, we have DMZ now, Warzone, so on and so forth. There's so many things the developers have to do. And some new information has come out. And it's absolutely crazy to me. It's crazy to me, but it proves around the time of Modern Warfare 2019, before Warzone even happened, they were already planning on changing the whole overall identity of what Call of Duty is known for. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into this topic, if you do enjoy what you hear today, and you also want to hear other commentaries revolving around Call of Duty, Battlefield, XDefiant, and any other FPS game, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. And also, last but not least, we will be live streaming today around 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time over on Kick. So of course, if you guys want to check that out, and check out any of my other socials as well, the links to everything are down in the description of this video. All right, let's go ahead and get right into this thing. Now, as you can see right here from Charlie Intel over on Twitter, Infinity Ward told us at Dexerto in a recent interview that prototypes for the DMZ mode were in development before Verdansk was even in development. We actually had working prototypes before we started making Verdansk. We felt that was a direction we needed to go. We felt those trends that early, but we didn't have the bandwidth to execute on it at the time. In general, good game development is to try crazy, scary stuff. Just trying different things. Sometimes they're first person, sometimes they're third person, sometimes they're one life, sometimes they're respawn, sometimes they're console or PC. Always playing and looking at what's there. It's just like anyone who writes books. They read a lot of books. Anyone who makes TV, they watch a lot of TV. So you kind of want to know what you're getting yourself into and how you can stand out. Basically, the moral of the whole overall story here is that DMZ was in production. It was produced basically before Warzone was even a thing. Verdansk is the base Warzone map. So when Modern Warfare 2019 came out, DMZ was basically the main thing that was in production before Warzone even dropped. So let that sink in, okay? Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, all the way up to Modern Warfare 2. DMZ was literally already a thing, even before that, probably around the time of Black Ops 4, when they were still dabbling in their version of a Battle Royale, which was Blackout. It was probably in production there, which means all of this time, as usual, the developers were thinking of everything else in the world. They were looking at every other game, every other trend, every other mode. They were looking at everything out there besides what they need to make a good COD game. I'll be honest, before with World War II, we had problems. Black Ops 4, yeah, we did have some problems. A lot of those games, we still had problems. But I would say the biggest downfall, the biggest spike for me personally, and, the turning point of the overall Call of Duty franchise was Modern Warfare 2019. That's when they really took a push for basically chasing everything else in the world besides what makes Call of Duty good. And like they just said in here, they had DMZ already pretty much in the works, which means, yeah, indeed, it's guaranteed that they don't care about 6v6 anymore. Their only focus is on chasing trends. Whatever is popular, whatever is popping is what they want to go ahead and do. And I get it, especially releasing a game like Call of Duty where it's something that releases every single year. They can't make the same thing year in, year out. But the thing that annoys me the most about that is that they should be trying to innovate upon the 6v6 formula in a good way. Not the way that they're doing right now, not half-assing it, not just trying to find something to do just to, make it seem like it's different and then putting all of your focus into Warzone. No, I mean putting years and years and years into hard work of trying to come up with brand new, fresh ideas for the 6v6 multiplayer. Like, for the love of God, how long has it been since we had some, new type of streaks in the Call of Duty universe. I mean, Black Ops 3 was probably the most unique, innovative. Black Ops 4 added a little something. What wasn't the squad call-in something kind of fresh too? Having those 2 squad troops that would come in and work some magic. I think we had something like that in Ghost as well. But honestly, at the end of the day, streaks aren't really that new and refreshing, Back in the day, Call of Duty 4 to World at War, it was a decent change because, we went from having, airstrikes to artillery and, having a helicopter to having dogs. Then from Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 2, it was a massive jump in streaks, huge jump. Same thing with World at War to Black Ops 1, ginormous. And even from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, there was still a decent, change up to make it feel unique enough. All of these recent CODs, it just feels like either reskin streaks or just something, the same old. And that's just one single example. Of course, there's many other ways they can innovate on the 6v6 experience. But again, like I said, if they actually put in time and effort in all these years into making sure they put, work into 6v6, we would get cool and unique stuff. But the reason we get half-assed products is for this exact reason. Their minds are all over the place. They can't focus on one thing, hyper-focus and perfect it. They can't do that, and it's reasonable for these developers to not be able to do it as well because it's impossible. How could you possibly do that when you're trying to run Call of Duty in 5-6 different directions and make sure it still works properly? Of course, some things are going to be messed up. Of course, certain things are going to be left out. And obviously, since Warzone is their main priority, they're going to keep pushing with that. But what I see behind the scenes is that they'll push with anything. If DMZ was more popular than Warzone, I guarantee that DMZ would be their main priority. If they released DMZ around the same time as Warzone 1 in 2019 and DMZ was the thing that popped off, they would have ran with that. That's all I see out of this overall situation. COD only cares about trends. Forget everything else. Forget the love of the franchise, the passion for the franchise. They only care about trends. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if they chased these trends to keep Call of Duty relevant, but my goodness, can't you still at the same time make a good core base game? I just don't get it. But really, think about it. We have 10v10. We even in Cold War, what was it called? It wasn't 10v10. It was like 8v8 or something. But still, their ground war version. Nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that stuff on the base maps. But then they also have ground war, which was, the Battlefield wannabe ripoff. They brought in gunfight. They brought in, just so many different modes. DMZ, Warzone, the list goes on. You guys could probably come up with thousands of other modes. And these aren't modes that, are to spice up the 6v6 experience, like things like Infected when that was first introduced. That's to spice up the public match experience, of what Call of Duty was all about. But these modes are completely different realms, completely different universes when it comes to COD. You play it completely differently, right? But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I just thought it was really important to go ahead and showcase this letter to you guys. Again, I understand where they're coming from, saying that, they have to do stuff like this. They do have to branch out and try other things, but it's always at the sacrifice or the cost of the core 6v6 vibes, the core game of what, made Call of Duty great. And to see that they are they're so soaked up in this trend. Because even before this trend came along, like I said, Black Ops 4, World War 2, Black Ops 3, all the jetpacks, Advanced, Infinite, all of them, they were still focused on, the multiplayer. Even though some of them weren't that fantastic compared to others, at the end of the day, they tried to innovate on the game. They tried to enhance the game, make it better, and their main selling point was to get people into 6v6. Obviously, the campaign will get people to play, and there's still zombies and, Spec Ops and all that stuff, but they wanted to make sure, what got people coming back month and month and month again was the 6v6 experience. Now, that's not it. Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date, you could tell, even with this news right here from behind the scenes, that their main focus was always to expand on trends, not to make sure the core game was good. They wanted to make sure that they can find something that hit, whether it was battle royales, extraction modes, if Battlefield's popping off, they want to make sure that they have a Battlefield. COD is just chasing everything besides chasing what makes it good in the first place. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a massive favor. Make sure you go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below on this whole overall situation. Like I said, do you guys think that Call of Duty started trend chasing around Modern Warfare 2019, or do you think it started before? I know some people will say Black Ops 4, but honestly, I thought Black Ops 4, even though I had Blackout, multiplayer-wise, it might not have been the best game in the universe. I would still take the OGs over it, but still, compared to what we got now, I still say it was pretty darn good. I really do think Modern Warfare 2019 was when 6v6 really went down the drain. But of course, like I said, leave your opinions down below. I always love reading them all. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button if you hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat me, there's two ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.